Oops, camera is on. Hello everyone. This is, as you know, Mrs. Komu. I thought I'll make a quick video on Big Ideas Math 1.5 concepts. We have done some of the problems. We have worked on some of the problems in my 1A, but I know the commonly frequent FAQs, right? Frequently asked questions. So I thought I'll make this quick video for you guys. So what I'm going to do is, you don't need to see my face right now. All you need is to hear my voice. So I'm going to stop this video over here and I'm going to share my screen, that is on my iPad. At this point, while I'm doing so, I want to give a big shout out to Sophia Chowdhury. She has helped me figure out how to do this yesterday. How to turn the volume. No. What did Sophia help me with? Sophia has helped me on how to turn the volume on while screen recording on my iPad. And then my Notability was giving me a trouble. Whenever I'm drawing, whenever I'm writing it, it would not erase properly, or it would erase what I didn't want it to erase and all those things. So Sophia fixed that for me and she showed me that. So thank you, Sophia. So without much further ado, let us go ahead and solve some of the problems that you guys may have a question on. Some of you already, I helped you this morning with these problems, and I do know that they could be a little bit confusing, but you know what? You guys are awesome sauce. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do it. I think you're able to see my screen right now. So we are in section 1.5 in Big Ideas Math, and we are talking about literal equation. So what is a literal equation? A literal equation is an equation where there are two or more variables. Okay, I don't have a stylus right now, so I'm using my big fat finger. So just bear with me, okay? A literal equation is an equation which has two or more variables. So is this a literal equation? What do you guys think? I can't hear you. Oh, wait, this is a Zoom call. So this is not a literal equation because there is one variable, which is r. You might think this pi is a variable, but pi is actually a constant. Pi value is 22/7 or 3.14. So this is not a literal equation. All right. So every time, let me give you a clue, okay? This should work now because Sophia helped me yesterday. Let's see. This eraser should work. Okay. Let me give you a nice clue, okay? Whenever you're solving for literal equation, look for the keyword for, all right? And whatever word is there after for, or whatever letter is there after for, that is what you should solve for. That is what you have to keep on one side of the equal to sign. What do I mean by that? So look at this. Here, this says solve y minus 3x is equal to for y. All right. That gives me a clue. So for y, so what they want me to do is, if they did not give you this in your test, probably you won't have it. You'll just have this solve y minus 3x is equal to 13 for y. So what you have to do is you have to put y on one side of equal to sign, and all the others should be on the other side. That is your final goal. All right. Now, how do we do that while respecting the properties of mathematics? That is what we are going to do right now. So let me solve this and then I'll go back to the second question. So the way we would do it is, I'm going to write the equation again over here. Y minus 3x is equal to 13. Now, what do you want to isolate? What do you want to leave on one side of the equal to ocean? You want to leave y here. I'm just putting the invisible one over there, okay? You want to leave y over here, which means you have to get rid of negative 3x. How do you do it? What is the inverse operation? Addition, plus 3x. And whatever you do on the right side, you do it on the left side. So your answer will be y is equal to 13 plus 3x. That's it. That is how you will solve literal equations. You're telling people the value of y in terms of x. Do we understand that? That is exactly what you're doing in solving literal equation. Now let us quickly go back to the second problem and we'll move on to the more complex problems, okay? Now, second problem, look at it carefully. They're asking you what is different, all right? Sorry, which one is different? Now, when you look at it, here they're saying solve for x. Here they're saying solve for x. Here they're saying for y. And here they're saying for x. Correct? Right off the bat, you know that this one is a different one because in only this case, you're solving for y. In all the other cases, you're solving for x. Do we understand that? So let us go ahead and do it right now. Let's see how to do it right now, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first equation, 3x. Now, okay, before I go ahead and do it, now you guys, I can't tell you enough. It is very important for you to read the problem very, very carefully, okay? They ask you to figure out which one is different. We already did. And then they want you to find, quote unquote, both the answers. What they're asking you to do is find the answer for these three, which will be one answer, and find the answer for this one. That is exactly what they're asking you to do. So let's go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to take the first equation. You can take any of the three equations and you'll get the same answer. All right. But let me take the first equation and I'm going to write 3x plus 6y is equal to 24. What are we solving for? X. All right, which means I first have to isolate the variable term, which is the 3x. That is the term that I want to isolate, which means I want to get rid of 6y. How do I get rid of 6y? Negative 6y on this side and negative 6y on this side. Understood? So positive and negative gets cancelled. So you will have 3x is equal to 24 minus 6y. I should be careful with the signs over here, okay? Now, is your job done? No way. Why? Because there is this 3 over here. Now, how do you get rid of 3? What is the operation between 3 and x? Multiplication. What is the inverse operation of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide the left side with 3. Whatever I'm going to do on the left side, I'm going to do it on the right side. Now, while you do that, please remember that this 3 belongs to both 24 and negative 6y. That means you have to divide both 24 and 6 with 3. This and this gets cancelled. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. Now what you have is 24 divided by 3 minus 6 over 3y. 24 divided by 3 is how much? 8 minus 2y. So you have your first answer, second answer over here, which is x is equal to 8 minus 2y. Hurrah! Yay! Now, let's go ahead and solve for y. Now, to solve for y, you can take, trust me, you can take any of these equations, move things around and make sure that you're isolating y, you'll still get the same answer. But to make my life easier and to have more time to play Minecraft rather than do math, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this equation. So I'm going to take 6y is equal to 24 minus 3x. Again, what is your goal? To isolate y. How do I do that now? Observe the left-hand side of the equation. 6y. 6 is being multiplied with y. I want to get rid of 6. How do I do that? Over 6 on the left side. And whatever you do on the left side, do it on the right side. So what you have is y. Again, remember what I said? This 6 belongs to both 24 and 3. All right. 24 is being divided by 6 and negative 3 is being divided by 6. So y is equal to 24 divided by 6 minus 3 over 6x. So if you simplify it, you'll get y is equal to 4 minus half x. That will be your answer. All right, will be y is equal to 4 minus half x. That is how you solve for literal equations, guys. You know you're so superly expert at solving equations with variables on both sides. The only difference is for you to identify what are they asking me. more times than not, even in your test or in like competitive math exams, they will not give you what your big ideas is doing. They will not give you this section, y is equal to what. They won't ask you that. They'll just give you the question. Then you have to identify the keyword for and whatever variable comes after that. Say solve for Miss K. Then you have to put Miss K on one side and everything else on the other side. That's what they mean. All right. Now let me quickly go over to a few questions that were asked this morning, and I thought they were very interesting and I understand why they could be confusing. Okay. These are kind of word problems in this section. I just wanted to make a video so that you can refer back to it. If only I can scroll down. There you go. You guys are super experts at notability, but not me. So these are the, no, I'm going to solve 31. You'll be able to solve 32 easily. So 31, look at this question. A common statistic used in professional football is the quarterback rating. This rating is made up of four major factors. One factor is the completion rating given by the formula R is equal to, R is probably rating. Guys, my sport is cricket, so I'm not really sure about football, but I'm pretty sure you guys must be able to relate to this. So R is the rating, and the formula that you have is R is equal to 5 times C over A minus 0.3. I was busy reading the next line. So what is A? A is the number of attempted passes and C is the completed passes. Okay. So this is the formula that they use to calculate the completion rating. Got it? What are they asking you to do? They're asking you to solve for C. That means, like they mentioned over here, they want C on one side of the equation and everything else on the other side. All right. Now look at, carefully observe this. On the right side, you have C over A minus 0.3 in parentheses and 5 outside the parentheses, which means the operation between 5 and everything else inside the parentheses is multiplication. So my first logical step would be to get rid of 5. How do I do that? Divide the right side with 5. Whatever you do on the right side, do it on the left side. So my new equation will be R over 5 is equal to 5 and 5 gets cancelled. I can take off the parenthesis C over A minus 0.3. All right. And then after that, what do I do? Again, what is my goal? To isolate C. Now C over A is actually one term, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of 0.3. How am I going to do that? Plus 0.3 on this side, and whatever I do on the right side, I do it on the left side, R over 5 plus 0.3. Following? I'm pretty sure you are, because you are awesome sauce. All right, so I'm going to cancel this. Now my new equation will be R over 5 plus 0.3 is equal to C over A. Now you know what to do. You have to get rid of A. C is being divided by A. So what is the opposite operation? Multiplication. So you multiply the right side with A. Now here is what is super duper important. Since you're multiplying the entire right side with A, you're multiplying the right side with A, you have to multiply the entire left side with A, which means I'm going to write A outside and I'm going to put parenthesis over here to denote that A should be multiplied by R over 5 and A should also be multiplied by 0.3. Now you have your equation. See, this A and this A gets cancelled. I'm sorry, it's so messy because I'm running out of space. So you have C is equal to A times R over 5.3. That is your answer. I'm going to write it over here. C is equal to A parenthesis R over 5 plus 0.3. That is your answer, guys. Got it? Let me erase all the other stuff. You guys should show the work though, okay? And not shabby work like the way I'm doing. All right. Now the last problem which you might be having a question on, let me go ahead. Now, before I go ahead, let me tell you, if you need any formulae for you to solve the problems in your test, if I'm going to give you that problem, I'm definitely going to give you the formulae. So let us go over here. Your friend claims that thermometer A displays greater temperature than thermometer B. Is your friend correct? What's your conclusion? All right. Now look at thermometer A. I'm going to write it over here. A and B. So thermometer A contains, the reading is 20 degrees centigrade, and thermometer B is 70°F. It happens all the time to me, because when I call India and tell my family, oh, it's so cold today, it is 70°F, they're like, okay, what is it in degree centigrade? And when my mom calls me and tells me it's so hot today, it is 42 degrees centigrade, and I'm like, I don't even get it. What is it in Fahrenheit? Right? So this is very important to know this conversion, whether we are doing math or not. Now the formula is F is equal to 9/5 times C plus 32. Okay, let me write it in one line. Okay. So this is F is equal to 9/5 C plus 32. Okay, but look at the question over here. They're asking you, so whether she is right or wrong, and then they're asking you, because what is 70°F in centigrade? Okay, so that is what they are asking you to do. All right, so which means you are converting Fahrenheit to centigrade. All right, that means I want C outside the equation. All right, I want to isolate C. Now you guys can do it by yourself, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you the formula. Chances are in your competitive exams, they'll give you this formula and you have to move things around and isolate C. But when you do that, you will have C is equal to 5/9 times F minus 32. Okay, this is your homework. Go ahead and see if you get this. If not, come and ask me. Okay, but I'm 150% sure that you'll be able to solve this. All right, so which means what I'm going to do is 5/9 times 70 minus 32. Guys, go ahead and solve this. In the interest of time and to make my video short so that you guys don't get bored, I'm going to let you guys solve it. But when you solve it, compare the value that you get with this 20 degrees centigrade. If it is more than 20 degrees centigrade, then your friend is wrong. If it is less than 20 degree centigrade, then your friend is right, and thermometer A displays the greater temperature. So that is how you do it. So again, let me tell you, don't worry. In your test, if I'm going to give you this problem, I'm going to give you the formula also. All right. The same thing with the next question. They didn't give you the formula over here. I'm going to give you the formula, but you'll be able to do it pretty easily once you get the formula. All right. All right. What you have here is a trapezoid. Trapezoid, trapezium, potato is the same thing. All right. So what they're asking is, they gave you the area. Height is h. You have to find h and you have to find the shorter base. All right. Now the formula for area of a trapezoid is same as the formula of an area of a rectangle or any parallelogram. But here there are two bases, right? Oops, I cannot do it now. But then I'm sorry, guys, something has happened, but I'll give you the formula and you'll be able to do this. Area is equal to, I'm unable to write anymore on my Notability. It says read only mode. So area is equal to half times base 1 plus base 2 times height. Okay, so why are we doing half? Because when you divide the trapezoid, you'll divide it into one rectangle and one triangle over here. All right, so what we are going to do is half base times height times half is the triangle formula. But what we are going to do is we have two bases, b1 and b2, multiplied by height, and that is how you will solve this problem. Do not hesitate to come catch me and ask me if you still have questions, but the rest of the problems, you shouldn't be having any questions, because these are the main two problems where you need a formula. All right, again, recap. A literal equation is an equation with two or more variables. Look for the keyword for, and any word or letter that comes after that, that should be isolated when you're given the formula. All right, that's about it, class. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Bye. Tata. Bye bye.